Hello everyone and welcome to our first lecture which is called footprinting. The footprinting is the very essential part and the first step of the penetration testing or the ethical hacking. This lecture will be covered in the both languages in English and Urdu so that some of my students, those who don't understand the Urdu language and able to understand this course as well. And I'll explain some of the things in the Urdu language as well. Let's start with this footprinting chapter. The footprinting is the very first process, and it is the process of collecting as much as information as possible about the target network and identifying various ways to intrude into the organization's network. Supposedly, you have been given a task to penetrate into a network or a web server or a company's website or as an do a penetration testing of an whole organization. So what will be your starting point? आप सबसे पहले कहाँ से शुरुआत करेंगे? अगर आपको एक मुकम्मल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का पेनिट्रेशन टेस्टिंग करने का असाइनमेंट मिले तो where will you start from? So this is the question which will be answered in this footprinting process. We try to collect as much as information of the target organization and to find out the weakest link where we can attack and where we can target uh, first steps and we can penetrate easily. And this is what usually the hackers do as well. Hackers try to find out the weakest link of the organization. वो कमज़ोर हिस्सा तलाश करने की कोशिश करते हैं. वो एक ऐसा सर्वर, एक ऐसी नेटवर्क जहाँ पे वर्नेबिलिटीज़ हों, जहाँ पे कमज़ोरी हो, जहाँ पे आसानी से वो पेनिट्रेट कर सकें. They try to find out a server, they try to find out a website or a network where they found a vulnerable, or there could be the vulnerable, uh, and they can easily penetrate. And this information they collect it from this footprinting process. So in the footprinting, we collect the basic target network information and many other things like the web servers versions and the DNS and the many other things. So going for the definition of the footprinting, footprinting is the first step of ethical hacking, refers to the process of collecting information about the target network and its environment. Using footprinting, you can find out various ways to intrude into the target network organization's network system. It is considered methodological because critical information is sought based on the previous discovery. ये एक methodological way होता है to find out the many different information. And how we find out, we don't use the just tools only, but we use the many other the publicly available information as well on the internet. Once you begin, the footprinting process in a methodological manner. You will obtain the blueprint of the security profile of the target organization. Here, the term blueprint is used because the result you get at the end of the footprinting refers to the unique system profile of the target organization. So, आपके पास एक complete database आ जाएगा. A blueprint means you can build a database in Excel file, in Notepad, or wherever you feel feasible. So this end result will give you a bird eye view picture, a one eye view picture, or a whole picture of an organization, that how much that organization could be secure or from where you can start. All right. So this is what the footprinting definition is. Um, why we do the footprinting? There are the four important reasons. One is the know the security posture of your organization via the blueprint which we got the at the end of the result. हम जो कुछ फुट प्रिंटिंग करेंगे तो उसके एंड में जो हमें डेटा मिलेगा वो हमें एक ब्लूप्रिंट की शक्ल में, एक डेटाबेस की शक्ल में, तो वो हमें उसकी सिक्योरिटी पोस्चर का अंदाज़ा लगाने में मदद करेगा। Reduce the attack area. You'll see that we start from the one single website, and we'll be expanding our information from one single website to the many other endpoints, so many endpoints. And so where exactly we do is should we start? So we have to reduce the attack area. We have to find the possible vulnerable target, a possible weakest link where we could start our penetration testing. जब हम अपनी प्रैक्टिकल का आगाज़ करेंगे आज, तो फिर उसके अंदर हम देखेंगे कि किस तरह से हम एक पॉइंट से स्टार्ट करते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के नाम के साथ, लेकिन आहिस्ता-आहिस्ता इतनी इन्फॉर्मेशन हमारे पास आ जाएगी, इतने एंड पॉइंट्स आ जाएंगे, इतनी आईपीज़ आ जाएंगी, सो वी unable to figure out कि exactly where should we start. So this information will help us to reduce the attack area and then prioritize the attack area कि कहाँ से हमें penetration अपनी स्टार्ट करनी है और कहाँ पे नहीं करनी। बिल्ड इंफॉर्मेशन डेटाबेस जैसे कि मैंने पहले अर्ज किया था, नो ड्रॉ द नेटवर्क मैप डायग्राम। सो when we do the footprinting, we collect the so many different information from our footprinting thing, for example domain name, IP addresses, and there could be the employees detail and many other things, right? Now, how we start doing the footprinting? I quickly jump into the demonstration part. So when we start footprinting, we don't use the very much um, extraordinary and some kind of the tools in the Kali, but we use the footprinting via uh, public information which is already available on the internet about our target network or the system. So, for example, searching through the web servers, oh sorry, searching through the search engines. Okay. So let's start with the search engines, and so for example, if I say that I'm searching penetration, doing a testing of the um, Omni Academy, all right? So we'll go to the Google, right? Ah, it's Google, and we'll search the Omni Academy. So once we search for the Omni Academy, so there we can find out its website and what they do exactly do. And so it's important to know as much as about our target, their offices, physical locations, and at what time they work, okay, directions, their Facebook page, their LinkedIn profile, all right, and many other things you could find out on the via the Google as well. So going through the this web page, their website, we can find out their services and other things as well, and also the website address, which is definitely you can find out. But what we'll do, we'll create an Excel file and we'll start making a database of it, right? So for example, we say the name is the Omni Academy, and then website name is this, okay? The FB page is this. And similarly, the whatever the information you find out, you can um, post it in your uh, Excel database, which eventually you will call it a blueprint. Now, many of you might be surprised that why exactly we are doing this thing um, and recording everything on one file. So it is the basically collect the process of collecting information. So we are collecting the all information of the Omni Academy in one single thing, and then we can use it in a different way. We can use maybe in the phishing, spam, or the maybe the hackers could use it for the many others different attacking techniques as well. So it's good to have an all the things in the one place compiled, and then you can uh, use it for the different sort of attack in the future when you are planning for it, right? So now we have the website here with us, and let's see what is the IP address of the this website. So how can we find out? There are these some website which can provide us the IP addresses of this website as well, but we'll take out look into the first CLI mode कि हम अपने CLI mode के through या command line के through हम कैसे देख सकते हैं. So the from the CLI mode we'll go to this command prompt, and I'm on Windows right now, not using Kali, but similar commands can be run on the Kali as well, right? So on the command prompt, we can either ping it, for example, either ping www.omni-academy.com. All right, so ping might be disabled there, but it eventually gives us the IP address. As all of you knows that whenever you do the communication with the name, so it will convert the name into the IP address, and the name has been converted from the to the IP address via DNS. एंड वेयर एग्जैक्टली द डीएनएस इज आपका जो डीएनएस होता है वो आपके कहाँ सेटिंग में होता है तो अगर आप अपने नेटवर्क कार्ड की सेटिंग में जाके देखें इफ़ यू गो इनटू योर नेटवर्क कार्ड सेटिंग एंड चेक आउट देयर so you will find out the DNS there as well. Usually it's if you are working from home, so usually it's your router address, but it's not necessary that it's your router address. So how can I find out the my network IP address setting from command prompt? I use the command the ipconfig. All right, so the IP config will give me the IP address of my all adapters working connected on my laptop. So here is the wireless adapter, and this currently the wireless adapter has this IP address, this subnet, and this default gateway. All right, default gateway is my router address. All right, and where is the DNS? So I'll type the IP config slash all. So it will again giving me this some more details like the for the wireless network, and here are the for example it's giving me my MAC address as well now, my MAC address wireless adapter model, and here is the DNS servers. All right, so this is my local DNS server, and maybe in your case if you are at home, so maybe the this default gateway and the DNS server could be the same. It's your router address, but in my case, I'm in a different environment where my default gateway and the my DNS servers are the change, and it could be, and it is possible, right? So this is my local DNS server address, and this is the Google DNS server address, right? So I can query to directly to them as well without pinging. Okay. So how can I do this? I'll use the command ns lookup. So ns lookup now it is querying it is connected to my local DNS server. So the whatever the query I placed here will be received by my local DNS server. So for example, I say www.omni-academy.com. So this gives me the answer. Um, right. Thank you. So this has given me the answer. This that means this Omni Academy has this IP address. We can connect our change our DNS server from this for this query as well. For example, if I say server is equal to 8.8.8.8, this is a public DNS server of the Google. Okay, sorry, server 8.8.8.8. Okay, don't put is equal to the server space and 8.8. So it's connected to the Google DNS server. Now I can do the query from here as well, like at www.omni-academy.com. Now this is a public information. ये एक public information देखिए, आप को इस किसी की आईपी मालूम किए बगैर आप उस वेबसाइट को एक्सेस नहीं कर सकते. So website की IP address already public है, but via DNS server. But to query the DNS server, the DNS and their IP, any website's IP is the public information. But how to query them? This is the thing. So we can do it from some websites as well, and we can do it from their NS lookup as well. And from here we can find out the IP address of any website. For example, we'll type the um, all right. So it gives us the lenovo.com IP address as well. All right. So here can we find out the IP address of the different websites and the different things. All right. So for the case of the Omni Academy, we now know the IP address, and we'll post it here as well. That the IP address is this, right? What else we could find out? I'll show you the some websites as well where we can find out this information as well. Now the next thing is this is the website address, but every website has their email addresses as well. For example, the Omni Academy. This is the domain. The domain is the omni-academy.com. There could be the email as well, like info at omni-academy.com. So it's not compulsory that the web server and the mail server both have the same IP address. All right. So to find out the mail server IP address, we have to go here in NS lookup as well. I'm showing you through the NS lookup right now, and then I'll show you the easiest way as well. All right. So I will go to the NS lookup and will set the query to the set type is equal to mx. Set type is equal to mx. Okay, set type is equal to mx. Now mx is the basically the mail exchanger record, which tells us the IP address or the FQDN name of your mail server. ये आपको आपके मेल सर्वर का एड्रेस बताता है. जैसे कि आईपी एड्रेस जब आपने अपने ब्राउज़र के ऊपर लिखा www.omniacademy.com, तो ब्राउज़र को आईपी एड्रेस का नहीं पता है इसका, तो उसने मालूम करने के लिए एनएस लुकअप किया होगा बिहाइंड द सीन, एंड देन ही विल गेट द आईपी एड्रेस, एंड देन वो फिर रिक्वेस्ट आपके ओमनी एकेडमी के सर्वर तक गई. वो ओमनी एकेडमी का सर्वर कहाँ पे होस्ट है? वो होस्ट है यहाँ पर इस आईपी एड्रेस के ऊपर, जो अभी हमें थोड़ी देर पहले फाइंड आउट हुआ था, दिस वन. ऑलराइट. So without IP address, we cannot do any communication. Similarly, if I send an email to the info@the-omni-academy.com, तो मेरे मेल क्लाइंट को या मेरे सर्वर को कैसे पता चलेगा कि ओमनी एकेडमी का मेल सर्वर कहाँ है? How does the my mail client or the my email server, if I am sending it from the Gmail, so how does the Gmail knows the where does the Omni Academy mail server is? So उसको वो भी क्यूरी करेगा इस MX record के ऊपर DNS के थ्रू. And once he do the query from MX record, he will find out the mail server address of the omniacademy.com. So for example, I have set this type to the MX, and now I'll type the omni-academy.com. So you see, now I know the mail server of the Omni Academy. It is mx.zoho.com, mx2.zoho.com. Now, what is this zoho.com? You might not knows about it, so just go and query about it. All right. So zoho.com. So Zoho.com is basically an email provider, and Omni Academy has hosted their email address on the Zoho.com. Most of the companies uh, don't manage their own mail server. Rather, they hosted it on some third party like the Zoho, Office 365, Gmail, and etc. So similarly, they have hosted their email addresses there. So now we know the email server addresses as well. So we'll just copy this record as well, mail server, and paste it here. So now our database is growing out, and we know the web server IP address, we know the mail exchanger record. We'll try to find out the more about it. What else we can do it with the Omni Academy penetration footprinting? So the another thing which we can find out is the whois record. The whois record gives you um, the registration information of your website, of any website, not specifically your website, the any website. So for example, I am here at whois.com. There could be the many other websites as well, and I'll go here on whois.com. If supposedly I've searched here at the omni-academy.com, so it shows me that the Omni Academy has been registered with the GoDaddy, right? And their parent organization name is MHSG Consulting. They're located in Sindh, PK, Pakistan. All right. And this is the further information. So here you find out these some more information about the Omni Academy, and at least you know the registrar names as well, which you can later on use it for your penetration testing as well, right? So now you knows the mail server, web IP address, you know the registrar as well. What else we could find out? Let's move on. So there could be the many, there are the many websites like virustotal.com. All right. Now in the virustotal.com, if supposedly I search here omni-academy.com, so it first of all checks the possible malwares in this website, and then detailed information. And here it gives me the more information about the DNS, such as their name server record, primary name servers, and here, and the whois lookup as well, which we have already set checked, and their IP address as well, right? So this information we could get from the virustotal.com in a one single page as well, and the registrar also. All right. There are the relationship things as well. For example, they have found out some other IP addresses also in different period of time. So right now, for example, here you can see that this is the Omni Academy. The IP address is related to the Omni Academy, but there is another IP address which is related to the alpha.omni academy, and this could be a possible target, vulnerable target of your as well, because sometimes there are the other sites like the beta sites or something like that. Those are vulnerable things people usually keep secure, and they do care about their प्राइमरी साइट वो अपनी जो प्राइमरी साइट होती है उसका ख्याल रखते हैं, लेकिन जो अल्फा बीटा या फिर कुछ डेव साइट्स होती हैं दे यूजुअली डोंट take care of that thing much. So sometimes it's very vulnerable and or open and things like that. So it gives you the an additional targets as well. So because the Omni Academy is the very small target, it's not very good example. So let's search it out for the some other websites. So for example, Lenovo.com. So if I search the Lenovo.com and relationship, so you can find out that there are the various other subdomains. This is called the subdomains. Alpha.omniacademy.com is the subdomain. So we could find out the many other subdomains of related to the website. But because in this Omni Academy case, it's a very small company, तो इस ओमनी एकेडमी के केस में हमें इतने सब डोमेन्स नहीं मिलते, लेकिन अगर इफ यू हैव द गुड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और द पॉसिबल केसेस के वहाँ पर देयर कुड बी द मैनी अदर सब डोमेन्स एज वेल, एंड वी कुड चेक इट आउट दीज सब डोमेन्स, एंड उनको हम अपने टारगेट कर सकते हैं और उनके डिफरेंट आईपी एड्रेसेस वगैरह सब हमारे पास आ रहे हैं. So this is the thing which we can do for these finding out the subdomains and the IP address and other things, right? Uh, so moving forward, there are the many other websites which can help us out. For example, if I would like to know that, particularly in the case of the Omni Academy, what kind of software they are using to hosting their website or things like that. Maybe, so I can use the what cms.com, I think. Let me see. uh, what cms, all right, .org, what cms.org. So I type here omni-academy.com, detect cms. All right, here it is. So CMS क्या होता है कि CMS is just like there are the couple of ways to build a website, like आप PHP या किसी भी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज के अंदर बिल्कुल स्क्रैच से आप एक एक पेज करके आप बनाते चले जाएं, अपनी वेबसाइट बिल्ड करते हैं. एंड द अदर वे इज कि आप there are the some content management system. CMS means content management systems are available such as website जहाँ पे आप थीम वगैरह select करके और एक दफ़ा आप select कर लें, and then rest of your life you just have to write up the content and just post it, तो वो आपका एक नए नए पेज आपके बनते चले आते हैं. So WordPress is very popular CMS right now, and this is the version of the CMS which they are using. So this we can use for the our now you see that we haven't used any tool, we haven't used any Kali, we haven't used anything like extraordinary, and we just find out the many things like the what CMS they are using, WooCommerce plugin is there, PHP, MySQL, Apache web server, and when Apache is there, so most probably 99.9% the operating system is Linux. What version of the Linux is definitely is another thing, but the just it is the Linux is there. So I'll copy this thing and I'll add up in my database. So it will, so now my database is just growing, and it's just giving me the more information about it. I can easily write it here: operating system Linux. All right, because Apache and the Linux, MySQL, Apache, PHP is the very good combination. We also call it LAMP. Okay, Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. This is called LAMP. Okay. So this is how we can find out the CMS of any website as well. And once you know the CMS of the website, so we could, uh, for example, this is the WordPress. So we just go there and type here the WordPress default login page. All right, I know it, but I just like to show you that how you can just learn yourself about the new things and you can find out that about the things how the things works. So beginner's guide and other things, you just go there and you'll find out the exact the thing that the answer, like how to find out your WordPress login, and from here you hmm. All right, so here it is. So they have given you some examples. All right. So you can just try out these examples. All right. And you can check it out what works for your. So for example, in the case of Omni Academy, just type it wp-admin. This is the default, usually the default login page of the WordPress. So here it is. You have the login page as well. You cannot do anything like penetrate into the things, but you know the login page of the Omni Academy website as well. All right. So this is the way of finding out the more and more about your target network and the organization and things like. All right. So what else we can find out through this public sources is like mm, yeah. So who's we know about it, and now let's check it out. The some other websites like the RobTax and the Netcraft. Netcraft is a cool site. It gives you a lot of information. For example, let me try it in Chrome. Why? Remote host network may be down. There may be the problem in the toolbar.netcraft.com. Oh. Mhm. Or it's just taking time, maybe some problem at their end or what. So we'll check out the another website here where it is. RobText. So we'll search the robtext.com, and we'll search the Omni Academy here, and it gives us the a lot more things here about the IP address and more other things as well, right? Similar like the DNS related things. Let it work. Toolbar.net graph is not working, so don't worry. We have already found out many things from the CMS and the other things. So this is the way we find out the many things through this public network. There's another thing place from where we can find out the many things about the any our target network and information, which is the social network. So one of the popular social network is is the LinkedIn. All right. So if you go into the LinkedIn and check out this the any networks, target networks organization, or try to find out what they are doing and what technologies they are using. So you can it will give you a very much inside details about them. So for example, if not related to the Omni Academy, but so let's not search anyone's profile, but I have something already copied here. All right. So here's one of my friend's social network profile. Um, so just for the privacy concern, I just have hide his face and his name, and I also hide his current organization, but uh, he works in some any bank. I just hide the bank name as well. He worked there as an information technology officer, and you can see that the technologies which he was using there, like the Exchange 2003, 2007, and Active Directory, the SharePoint portal, the SAN, and the many other things which he has already mentioned. My good friend has already mentioned a lot about his network. So these are the things which you are not able to even scan from the outside of the network. आप एक बीइंग एन हैकर आप एक बाहर से बैठकर भी इन सारी चीज़ों को स्कैन नहीं कर सकते थे। आप सिर्फ स्कैन वो चीज़ कर सकते हैं जो कि आपके नेटवर्क के सामने होती हैं, जैसे कि वेब सर्वर वगैरह सब चीज़ें। लेकिन हमारी इररिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्यों है, हम दिस इज ऑल आवर इररिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि वी हैव added so much things in our profile कि वो हमारे कंपनी की इनसाइड इंफॉर्मेशन रिवील कर रहा होता है और दुनिया को बता रहा होता है। व्हाई वी डू इट, वी आर बेसिकली ट्राइंग टू सेल अवर सेल्फ। क्या वी ट्राइंग टू increase our profile, that we can do this thing, we can do this thing, we have done this, we have done this, हम ये भी कर सकते हैं, हम ये भी कर सकते हैं, but on the other hand we are revealing the secrets of our organization. So social media is gives you a lot more information about your network, especially the LinkedIn and the things. So your unaware employees, so you can write out those things from here to your website, this database as well. All right. So this is what is all about the footprinting. I hope you have the aware of the knowledge, basic knowledge of the how we can collect the information from of your target network from the public sources like the newspaper, from the Google, from the social network, and we can compile them in one place here. And as much as we compile them, we can now plan our target accordingly. Now we know that this website is working on this WordPress version. So now we can easily go there and can find out the WordPress exploits. So it will give us the WordPress exploits and the possible vulnerabilities and the attacks and WooCommerce exploits and the possible vulnerabilities, and we can plan our target accordingly, right? So this is the way the hackers or the usually the penetration testers start their journey of the penetration testing or the any assignment, right? So in the most of the cases when we start the penetration testing job, we have been already given some of the things like the information like IP address or etc etc. But we should be aware about the how the bad guys or the hackers do the things. So this is the way of finding this basic information of the any target network or of the organization or any organization. So I hope you learn these basic things. And if you do have any question, please WhatsApp me, and I'll try to answer your questions and the queries. Take care. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.